So the same concept then applies to a developer. You're not going to be the expert in everything. So surround yourself with the people that are, and focus on what you're good at. Focus on what your skill sets are that you're bringing into development. If your skill sets are sales, and if you come from a selling background, or if you come from a business development background, use and in property development, use those skill sets that you've got to to sell the property, but also to sell the investment opportunity out to investors, because that's your skill sets. But don't try to be then the expert on actually on law, or the expert on
On
tax
structures, tax, yeah, tax.
on construction, or because at the end of the day, you're not going to be. It's good to have knowledge in a lot of those areas.
Yeah.
I always encourage everyone to go out, build your knowledge, so you've got a basis and that foundation of the basis to understand from a real high level perspective.
High level perspective, yeah. And you have to be, because it's quite a broad skill set requirement. So you need to understand the whole spectrum.
Correct.
At the like a high level, but then when it's go down to the trenches, you can't be an expert in every single field. You cannot.
Correct. So even from if we take the most, I suppose, acquisition stage of a property development, in acquisitions, I'll do obviously a lot of the legwork to when I'm acquiring a site, and when I'm in acquisitions mode, I'll do a lot of the initial legwork around the planning concept, so I can quickly eliminate property, so I'm not wasting too much time on properties that just don't work from a planning perspective.
Yeah.
But I'm also doing it obviously because I've got a background in accounting and financial management. I'll also do obviously all the due diligence from a financial management point of view as well. But once I get to a certain stage, and I get to I pass my first cut of my financial feasibility assessment, and I get past that first stage, I'll always bring a planner in, because there's going to be elements that I've missed. Or even say, for example, with planning, you could sit down there and you can read the schedules within a planning zone, and based on those schedules, you might say, okay, well, this planning zone allows me to go to allows me to build a 3-story building in that area, and potentially might allow me to do 4 townhouses. But what you don't know from a planning perspective is a lot of these issues that might come around, and issues around neighbourhood character. So although that a planning zone allows a 3-story building, will the planning department, will the council actually approve it in that area?
That's right.
And they'll always fall back on concepts around neighbourhood character. So unless you've got those relationships and those understanding, unless you're in that business and you're working, doing planning applications every day, on dealing with those specific councils every day, you're not going to know. I'm not going to know.
Correct. You won't know, because it's
not. So
I
always rely. I'll never go and buy a property without running it past my planning consultant first. I'll never buy just on the whim of my own, what I believe my expertise is, and off the back of my own knowledge. I'll always go and get additional expertise to be able to provide the more specialist knowledge in those areas, rather than me trying to think I know everything about everything in property development. So I think that's an important step, and that a lot of people fail to do, particularly a lot of the, I suppose, the greener people.
And you're quite right, because a lot of starter developers, they try to save some money, which is sometimes it's a different type of mindset. They try to do everything themselves at the start because they don't have zillions of dollars to spend. But they don't know the critical factors that sometimes if you miss a few things, it can burn you big time on the project. And relying on a specialist expert in that area will hopefully save you time and money on your project. Yeah.
And look, the crazy thing is, in property development, you've got so much to risk when you go into it. And the reality is that a lot of people that are new to development don't treat property development like it's a business
Like a
transaction.
business. Yeah.
They treat it just like it's an investment opportunity, and a lot
It's
of the
like
time
it's a bit
they
like an
just
extension of property investment, right? But it's
correct,
way off. Yeah, property
and it's
investment.
more of just a speculation.
Mm.
But you don't speculate when you're going out and buying a site for 500, a million, $2 million. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
too much money to speculate on.